Did you know that Afghanistan, long portrayed as a land torn by conflict, was once the heart of ancient empires, a cradle of Buddhist art, and a vital link on the Silk Road? Buried beneath centuries of war and upheaval lies a story of resilience, power, and forgotten grandeur. This is the untold history of Afghanistan. Welcome to the Obsidian Scroll, where we bring history's hidden stories to light. Today, in our Around the World AZ series, we begin with Afghanistan. A landlocked nation at the crossroads of Central and South Asia, Afghanistan has been a melting pot of cultures, conquerors, and civilizations for over 3,000 years. From ancient Zoroastrian fire temples to modern geopolitics, Afghanistan's story is one of both glory and struggle. So, buckle up as we travel through time to uncover the entire history of this fascinating nation. Ancient beginnings, circa 2000 BCE to 500 BCE. The earliest known inhabitants of what is now Afghanistan were part of the Indus Valley civilization and later the Achaemenid Empire of Persia. Ancient cities like Balkh, once known as Bactria, stood as centers of Zoroastrianism and early Aryan culture. By 500 BCE, the region became a crucial satrapy under Persian rule. These early societies were marked by impressive irrigation systems, early writing, and trade routes that stretched as far as Mesopotamia. The Helmand Valley and surrounding regions became hubs of Bronze Age agriculture and settlement. The conquest of Alexander, 330 BCE. In 330 BCE, Alexander the Great swept through Afghanistan on his quest to conquer the Persian Empire. Though he captured key cities like Herat and Kandahar, resistance from Afghan tribes, particularly in the Hindu Kush Mountains, proved fierce. Some historians even suggest that Alexander's toughest battles occurred in these rugged regions. He married Roxana, a woman from Bactria, in a symbolic union meant to bridge east and west. After Alexander's death, his empire fragmented, and Afghanistan became a battleground for his successors, particularly the Seleucid Empire. The Greco-Bactrian and Kushan empires, 250 BCE, 300 CE. Following Alexander's era, the region saw the rise of the Greco-Bactrian kingdom, and later, the Kushan Empire, which fostered one of the most unique cultural fusions in history. Greek art met Indian spirituality, birthing Gandhara art, famous for its serene Buddha statues with Hellenistic features. The Kushans played a crucial role in the spread of Buddhism into China. Under rulers like Kanishka the Great, they patronized monumental architecture, literature, and facilitated trade across Central Asia. Monasteries thrived in Bamiyan and Kapisa, and Afghanistan became a spiritual bridge between East and West. The spread of Islam and the Ghaznavids, 7th to 12th century. Islam arrived in the 7th century through Arab conquests, gradually replacing older religions such as Buddhism and Zoroastrianism. By the 10th century, Mahmud of Ghazni emerged from eastern Afghanistan, launching over a dozen military campaigns into the Indian subcontinent and establishing one of the most powerful empires of the time. Ghazni became a beacon of Islamic scholarship, attracting poets like Ferdowsi and al-Biruni. Magnificent mosques and minarets rose across the region, some still standing today. Afghan culture, architecture, and political clout reached new heights. Mongol invasion and Timurid rule, 13th to 15th century. In the 13th century, Genghis Khan devastated Afghanistan on his way to creating the largest land empire in history. Cities such as Herat and Balkh were razed, their populations massacred. But from the ashes rose Tamerlane, Timur, and his descendants, who made Herat a jewel of Persian art and literature during the Timurid Renaissance. Under rulers like Shah Rukh and Queen Goharshad, Herat flourished with madrasas, libraries, and the refinement of Persian miniature painting. Afghanistan regained its cultural prestige and became a center of Islamic art. The Durrani Empire and birth of modern Afghanistan, 18th century. In 1747, Ahmad Shah Durrani, a former commander under the Persian Nader Shah, unified various tribes to found the Durrani Empire, often regarded as the birth of modern Afghanistan. His capital at Kandahar became a political and cultural hub. Ahmad Shah expanded his empire across eastern Iran, Pakistan, and northern India. His legacy still echoes today. He is honored as the father of the nation, with his mausoleum in Kandahar a national symbol. The Durrani period also saw relative stability and the flourishing of Afghan identity. The Great Game and Anglo-Afghan Wars. The 19th century saw Afghanistan caught in the geopolitical struggle between the British and Russian empires in what became known as the Great Game. 3 Anglo-Afghan wars ensued in 1839, 1878, and 1919. Despite suffering tremendous casualties and destruction, Afghans resisted foreign domination. In 1842, a single British survivor of a 16,000-strong army returned from Kabul, symbolizing Afghan resilience. Afghanistan remained a buffer state, maintaining nominal independence despite British interference in its foreign policy. Afghan leaders like Abdur Rahman Khan played shrewd diplomacy to maintain sovereignty. Independence and the Kingdom era, 1919 to 1973. Afghanistan gained full independence from Britain in 1919 under King Amanullah Khan, who ushered in a brief era of modernization and reform. Influenced by Turkey's Ataturk, Amanullah introduced a new constitution, secular education, and women's rights, but conservative backlash led to his exile. In the mid-20th century, Afghanistan balanced Soviet and American aid to develop infrastructure, education, and industry. The capital, Kabul, earned the nickname the Paris of Central Asia. Yet, political tensions simmered beneath the surface. By the 1960s, growing political parties and student movements signaled coming Toure. Communist coup, Soviet invasion, and civil war, 1978 to 1992. In 1978, a communist coup known as the Sour Revolution ousted the monarchy. Radical reforms sparked unrest, and in 1979, the Soviet Union invaded, leading to a decade-long occupation. The Mujahideen, a patchwork of Islamic resistance fighters, fought a brutal guerrilla war, aided by the US, Pakistan, China, and others. Over 1 million Afghans died. After the Soviets withdrew in 1989, civil war erupted among Mujahideen factions, destroying much of Kabul. Ethnic militias and warlords vied for control, leading to a fractured, lawless state. Rise of the Taliban and US invasion, 1996 to 2021. By 1996, the Taliban, a hardline Islamist movement, took over most of Afghanistan. Public executions, cultural bans, and the destruction of the Bamiyan Buddhas shocked the world. After the September 11th attacks, the US invaded in 2001, aiming to dismantle al-Qaeda and oust the Taliban. A new democratic government was established, but internal corruption, warlordism, and an enduring insurgency prevented lasting peace. US troops remained for 2 decades, making it America's longest war. Billions in aid flowed in, but often failed to reach the Afghan people. Return of the Taliban, 2021 to present. In August 2021, as US forces withdrew, the Taliban swiftly regained control of Kabul. The Afghan government collapsed, and scenes of desperate evacuations filled global headlines. Today, Afghanistan faces economic collapse, humanitarian crises, and severe restrictions on women's rights. Yet grassroots resistance movements have emerged, and the diaspora continues advocating for change. Journalists, teachers, and activists are finding ways to keep hope alive. The world watches as a new chapter of Afghan history unfolds, uncertain, yet still unwritten. Afghanistan's history is a mosaic of conquest and resistance, of cultural brilliance and brutal conflict. From the ancient Zoroastrians to the modern-day power struggles, it has remained a crossroad of civilizations, its mountains bearing witness to the rise and fall of empires. If you found this journey through Afghan history fascinating, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for our Around the World A to Z series. Next stop, Albania. Thanks for watching the Obsidian Scroll, where the past is never forgotten.